Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my domain. And today I'm going to talk about tools and techniques of object-oriented programming. Things that we're going to cover in this video are functions, IDE for C++, and types of variables. In order for me to explain that to you guys, I'm going to need to channel in my alter ego. Give it up for Nerdy Nakib. Oh, hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Nerdy Nakib. So first of all, gotta make my hair look, oh that's nice. What is object-oriented programming? So object-oriented programming is the instance based on the concept of objects which may contain data in the form of fields that are often known as attributes and code, often known as methods. A feature of objects is that an object's procedures can access and often modify the data fields of the object with which they are associated. Now that we know what object-oriented is, or have a very vague idea of what object-oriented programming is, this is very awkward because I forgot what I was supposed to say. Let's just move on to functions. There are several function subprograms that are used in computation, and that's a very big word. Give a round of applause to yourself for learning that word today. Computation. C++ and many other languages use mainly two types of functions: built-in functions and user-defined functions. So the first one, which is built-in functions, it provides the ability to the programmer to instruct the system to accomplish specific operations. The programmer is free in using the system supplied functions because the code is supplied by the system. This type is also known as the intrinsic functions. User-defined functions, however, are those which are defined by the programmer as part of the source program. Bet you didn't know that. Or maybe you did. I just realized it now. I don't even know what I said. Programmer uses this type of function if the availability of the system supplied function is inadequate. I've already explained, right? So we're gonna take two hats off because I've explained 2 points. So now I'm left with this Russell looking cap. Damn, I actually do look like Russell now. Look like a grown Russell. I look like Russell in college. Good afternoon. My name is Russell.
Good afternoon. My name is Russell.
So, built-in functions. They're available to anyone who writes a C++ program. This saves the programmer's time from writing own functions. They're completely debugged, efficient, and always produce precise output. The important contribution of the system supplied function is that they provide clarity to the program because they do not have to be redefined. It reduces the source code, which saves time for the program. When using this type of function, the following should be noted. Built-in function involves two data types: the data type of actual parameter, number one. Number two, the data type of return value. Well, two. Some functions accept and return the same data type, but some don't. The system supplied function can be incorporated within programs. For example, I'm gonna leave the code somewhere like right about here, like right in between my palm. Well, that code that I just written can be used to calculate square root of a number. Okay, now that's gone. Thank God, right? I can finally see my forehead. Okay, anyways. I can't even reach for my hoodie. Oh, choking myself. Anyways, the second is user-defined functions. So C++ language allows additional functions besides the built-in ones, and they are called user-defined functions. It allows the programmers to define their own functions. Programmer must code the logic of this type. In order to do so, a declaration is needed. So we are done with talking about functions. Now I'm gonna go back to being my normal self. Hey guys, actually we've covered another point, or did we? Actually no, let's cover one more point before I can take this jacket off. So we're gonna talk about IDE for C++. There are many languages which comes with a lot of promises but are dead within a few years of their launch. However, there's some gems which emerge from the first generation of computers but are still very popular and relevant too. C and C++ are very popular and are still actively used across applications and systems worldwide. IDEs are the best place to make your programming work easy. It has built-in functions like debugging, code completion, compiling, and syntax highlighting, and etc. The main use of IDE is to provide different components of software applications while developing the program. The thing which makes them most favored amongst the developers is their appealing user interface. So the first one, let me just pull up this. So the first one would be Eclipse. And Eclipse is one of the most popular and powerful IDEs for C++ or C. It offers open source utility and functionality for C and C++ programmers. New users can find this IDE as simple to use and work upon. Their features, you might ask? Well, let me tell you something. Open source software is available for free. That means if it's for free, it's for me. Supports all platform, and I'm talking about all the platform like Windows, Linux, and Mac. That's really it. That's all they support. It supports debugging, compiling, profiling, auto completion of code, and refactoring. It has great graphical user interface to arrange elements using drag and drop functionality. It's the easiest, to be honest. And also supports static code analysis. The second IDE would be Code Blocks. It is a free C and C++ IDE that was created to meet the most demanding needs of the developers of C and C++. This is an IDE with all features you need for C and C++ development. I forgot one thing. I forgot to take off this jacket. The features of Code Blocks, they work on Windows, Linux, and Mac, like Eclipse. And also it's designed to be fully configurable and extendable with its plugins. It also supports compiling, debugging, code coverage, profiling, and auto-completion of code. It's a class browser, like it can visualize object-oriented programming, like Eclipse. It also has a GUI to arrange elements using drag and drop functionality, and also supports code analysis. So we've covered another point, so that's going off. The last IDE would be GNAT Programming Studio. GNAT Programming Studio, also known as GPS, is highly advanced free IDE that simplifies the interaction between software and their developers. With its natural interface, GPS is easy to use. It simplifies source navigation. It helps to highlight the fundamental ideas in the program. So the features, multi-platform support, like the other ones, supports like the other ones, compiling, debugging, auto-completion of code, profiling, code coverage. It is also a class browser like Code Blocks, and it has drag and drop feature, and we all love that. Let's talk about types of variables, shall we? So variables, so we're gonna be talking about global, local, and static. It's gonna be a long video, to be honest. So the first variables would be local, and it is a variable that declares within one function or is an argument passed to a function. Local variables can only be used by the functions they were created in. Local variables are initiated with limited scope, meaning they're called at the same time when a function is called. The benefit of local variable is the memories that is taken up by the variable is released when a function ends. So that's a plus. That's a C++. The second variable would be global variable, and it's a variable that can be accessed by multiple scopes. It is declared at the beginning, so all the subsequent functions, procedures, subroutine could use it. Although global variables are not recommended to use, as they're more liable to cause bugs. They have more potential to cause bugs and waste of memory, and they decrease code readability, which is bad. That's a minus. It's not a plus. It's a minus. It's a C minus minus, not a C plus plus. Also, I couldn't find any advantage of global variables, as it is avoided by most programmers, which is, kind of fishy. The only situation, however, that you might need to use global variables is if all the functions of the programs have to use it. It's a no-no. The last variables and the last thing that I'm going to be talking about in this video is static variables. Static variable, it allows instance to be involved without creation of an object. An instance is formed at the time static variable. An instance that is formed at the time static variable is called, and it acts globally, meaning it can be accessed by any member of a class. Static variable is not referred to a specific object. That is the end of this video. Anyways, this has been a very informative video, and goodbye.